in Japan, and someone brought it to Korea and became very popular. And till today, it's a very famous topic, and everybody knows about it. So if you go into a taxi, the taxi driver will ask you, where are you from? And when he would realize that you're a Jewish, he would say, oh, Talmud, very smart people.
Wow.
So anti-Semitism doesn't exist here per se. Of course, there are some people with different opinions, but in general, it's a great place for us as a Chabad rabbis to live. There's no hatred. There's a lot of respect, and many good points in this regard.
Wow, amazing. From the background, it looks like this. You're speaking to us from your synagogue, from your shul.
Yes.
Is that is that part of your home? Is it in one big building? Is it separate?
Yes, we have a 3-story house. It's still a rented house. So it's actually in the basement. We have no windows, so I put
oh, we got a little
some
nice
behind it. It looks like it's a vitrage. So we feel even at night is nice, and people like it.
So Rabbi Litzman, I was going through some of your pictures. What stood out to me incredibly was you have a beautiful mikveh. It looks like using some local art. Anyway, your mikveh is gorgeous, and in a very positive way. I'm jealous. I love it. It got me so excited to see your mikveh, and it reminds me I have to put the pedal to the metal in my community to make sure we build a mikveh. Because if you're able to have one in South Korea, I have no excuse. And in Northern California, we could use one as well. So just from seeing some of the pictures, Rabbi Litzman, if you could see, this looks like your mikveh event. It looks like your mikveh inauguration. Just from, I see over here, it says Korea Rejuvenating Mikveh. Who is this speaking?
This is the U.S. Jewish chaplain from the army. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's stationed at the time he was based in Korea, or is he still there now?
Yes. He left a short while ago.
Uh-huh. So this was at your mikveh inauguration?
Yeah.
So this is your children up on the front stage, on the stage?
Yeah, yeah.
And who is that interviewing them?
This is the Israeli deputy ambassador.
And you have a connection with the deputy, with the ambassador?
We have a very good connection with the embassy. The American ambassador also came for the opening, who is not Jewish, but we have very close connection.
Wow.
Many Koreans also came for the event. You can see over here, this is Rabbi Kotlarski from the Chabad headquarters speaking to the audience. The event was at the Hyatt Hotel.
Wow. It looks like
and many rabbis came. The rabbi from Cambodia is in the audience.
Yeah, I saw him in one of the pictures. I'm going to hopefully get there. So for those that tuned in last week, Rabbi Butman, we interviewed him about life in Cambodia, and he says he has a close connection to the other Chabad rabbis. So let me just see if I could, hold on, I want to just get to the other pictures. I may have to. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some more questions, and then I'll share some pictures of the mikveh. For some reason, I couldn't get it up right now. Could you share with us a story of an impact you had on neshama, on a Jewish life, on someone who was in a time of need, and you were there? There's a Jewish community. There's a full-time rabbi now. Any impact you could inspire us with of your work?
So just before the Zoom event took place, a family from France living here. They have 3 kids. They were with us for Shabbos for the first time. They live 6 hours drive from here,
wow,
the other side of the country. And we send them regularly meat and all their kosher needs by post. And now it's quiet time. They cannot go to France, so they took vacation here for the weekend, and they joined us. And they took books and more kosher food and wine. And he said, we are living with food for the soul and food for the body.
Wow.
their kid is going to be soon bar mitzvah. He wants to have lessons, and he took upon himself to put tefillin and to study every day. This is one little example just from now. Last night, I visited a guy in a hospital. He's originally from Borough Park, but he decided to come to Korea to drop everything behind him, almost everything, but he has a good connection with his family, and they told him, contact your rabbi. So he contacted me, and I jumped into the car and brought him kosher food, and I know the hospital well, so he's been taken care, and he doesn't like Judaism much, but I'm sure that we'll see a lot of fruits from this visit from last night.
Wow.
And there are students here that comes, and people that running away from the family. It's a quiet place here. It's called the land of the morning camp. So people are taking it easy here. And Baruch Hashem, people that are at home didn't feel comfortable when they're coming here. They enjoy the warmth that we are able to provide. And I want to, you put a picture of my kids speaking there.
Yeah.
And when we spoke on Thursday, your time, I asked you if you ever spoke at the Kines at the International Convention. And I don't know if you remember, but I remember the words word by word till today, and it had a great impact on me. You encouraged all those who were in the room that we should make sure that our kids also involved in the Chabad work, not that because they have great impact on people. And I took it to my heart, and my kids are very, very involved. And
hold on a second.
Like Leo. Yeah, okay.
Hold on, Rabbi Litzman, I'm sorry. There you go. Sorry about that. Continue.
So every event that we have, we let them speak, and they speak beautifully, and people remember. People not necessarily remember the food that my wife cooks, or the material things, the beauty of the things here, but people do remember what our kids said 3 and 4 years ago, and they are so impressed that a 2-year-old child is standing on the chair and saying the words of Torah, and as they grow up, they're getting better at it. And my son is publishing a weekly YouTube video from the Rebbe, and this is mainly because of you.
So
thank you.
First of all, that's when you come to the Chabad conference in New York on our annual conference together. You're the rock star. You're coming from South Korea. I'm coming from California. There's hundreds of Chabad rabbis that come from California. So once I spoke at a workshop and I was sharing some tips and stuff. First of all, to know that you were in the crowd is already inspiring. To know that you remember what I shared, or you were listening, is already even more inspiring. That you remember what I shared and you implemented. That you made my day. It's recording now, so hopefully my wife will listen, and I'll score some points there. But that's first of all, I'm inspired. It's whatever I shared, I should actually also do myself. But I have the same exact feeling when my kids are involved in our shlichut, in our community building. It's the secret to success. It's really seeing the tradition being passed on, and it's the greatest nachas. So and for people, it really resonates. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Wow. I'm gonna put, if it's okay with you, okay with Google. This is South Korea. You're all the way in the north, close to the border with North Korea. Is that correct?
Yes. So I saw someone ask if we are traveling. So we do a few times a year. We do traveling. To go around the country takes about 2 days, 3 days, and we're planning to do it next week to visit this family that lives. If you see Busan,
Yeah, all the way
It
into
says Busan. There is
yeah.
an island below it. This is where they live.
Wow. So you're gonna go visit them
Yeah.
with your family?
Yeah.
With your
With
boys?
my Bezrat Hashem, God willing, with my family. We do it usually on high holidays. We go with the Sukkah, on Hanukkah. We go with the candles and menorah on the car. But this time we're going to do it in the summer because many people are here, not as every year that they are not here, and it's a great opportunity to visit. So Daegu, this is where the most people, Jewish people, live in Korea.
Oh wow, in Daegu.
Yeah, so there is an army base there, and many English teachers, professors are living there.
So last week, the Chabad rabbi in Cambodia was telling us that sometimes he brings out reinforcements. He brings out rabbinical students to help on different holidays like Passover and Hanukkah. Do you ever bring out rabbinical students as well?
So in the beginning we brought, but as I mentioned, my kids are the full force behind our Chabad house, so I don't really need to outsource. I have here, and they do a great job.
That's amazing. So you travel to, you pronounce it Daegu?
Daegu.
Daegu. And what's the one on the left, to the west?
Gwangju. I was there a month ago. There are 2 students, Israeli students there. We brought them food. It was a divine providence. The mother of one of the girls placed an order for her online. We have an online shop. And she placed an order, and I told her that we'll take care of it. And she ordered some food that requires a freezer, and it is very hard to handle in the summer here. It's very hot and humid. But I realized that the next day I will be an hour away from that place. I said, I didn't know she is here, but because the mother placed an order, I realized that this is a Jewish girl from the name. She is an Israeli name. So I decided to take it with me, and I texted her. I said, I'm bringing the delivery that from your mother. She didn't know that the mother placed an order. She was so excited. She started to jump to see Bamba and all the things that their mother sent her. So she came last week. She came. She is now moving to Seoul, so she came here to say hello, and she will be part of our community.
So you travel to that city, Gwangju, for two Jewish people. You said there was 2 Israeli students there.
Yeah. I'm
speechless. That's amazing. How many miles or kilometers is Seoul from Gwangju?
It's a 5 hours drive.
Rabbi Litzman, you're amazing. Amazing. So
we do what we need to do. I'm sure you would do the same. But luckily you have help from other Chabad rabbis around you.
Hanukkah, do you have a menorah lighting? Let me rephrase the question. Do you have any? Let me ask another question first. Do you have any connection with the government, with the government of South Korea?
So it says in Pirkei Avot that it's better not to have connection with them. But we happen to know some people. Actually, the mayor of Seoul, who just tragically passed away about 3 weeks ago, was a very dear friend of ours.
Wow.
But we know them. They know that we are here. We're helping them. The Israeli president was here a few months ago when we catered. The first catering that was outsourced to the Blue House. Their White House is the Blue House. Was my wife's food that came in the first time.
Wow.
And we know some people, and they help us when we need, but we try to stay quiet.
Amazing. Wow. So Hanukkah, you have a menorah lighting in the streets?
Yeah.
How many people would you say come on average?
It depends every year. Always here, it depends if it's a vacation or not. But numbers are not the most important. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Beautiful.
People are standing when it's 20 Celsius degree minus,
Right.
standing in the street and dancing and saying singing Jewish songs. This is the most important. Sometimes we had 100 people, sometimes less, 20, it depends. We don't really
we're coming
pay
from,
much attention.
You're talking to
the number.
Californians here. We don't even know what 20 Fahrenheit is. Forget about 20 below Celsius.
It's freezing cold. It's, if you don't say l'chaim, if you don't dance, there will be some consequences.
Wow. Have you ever made it north of the border?
No. If I'm here, it means I didn't. There's only one way to go there. Not from the south either. You have to go from China.
Oh, wow.
No, I went to the border. We put tefillin there probably for the first time ever.
At the border.
Yeah. And I went into a tunnel, which probably is somewhere closer than to the north than everywhere else.
Wow. Wow. How many languages do you speak?
So someone asked me if I speak Korean. I know a little bit Korean. I can manage, but I don't fluent in it. I speak a few languages, but mainly is English, Hebrew, and Yiddish. I know some Russian and other languages.
Awesome. What's the main religion in South Korea?
So 50% don't believe in anything. Maybe they believe in money or other things, in pleasure, in life, but they don't have a religion. And the other 50 is split between Christianity and Buddhism.
Uh-huh. Do you have any conversations? Do you get interest or dialogue with other religions that are interested or that come to your door?
So we have many groups of students that comes here to learn about Judaism. It's part of their curriculum. Mm-hmm. But the Rebbe will discourage us from going into debates. So this is not something that we do. We have many Koreans coming here. They want to learn and know about Judaism. Some of them let me try the way they want to convert, but when they hear all the difficulties that is in the vow, like not working on Shabbat and eating kosher food, they say, okay, it's okay, we don't need.
Gotcha. So this is just back to the event from the mikveh. I see a bunch of rabbis in the crowd. I'm guessing a lot of these rabbis are from the Far East. I see Rabbi Afton from China is speaking at this time.
Yes.
So you have a close connection with the other Chabads across different countries, like from Japan, China, Thailand?
Yeah, there are about 40 or more Chabad rabbis in Asia, and there's like a family. We have a very good connection with each other, and we speak regularly. We do a convention together when it's possible, and when there is event, people are coming. And when there is a bar mitzvah, I try myself. Or when there is any event, I try myself to go. It was actually bar mitzvah yesterday in Thailand, but I didn't know about it. If I would know, maybe I would.
Wow.
Was able to go.
That's amazing. I have events of Chabad rabbi friends an hour away, and it's I have to push myself to go. So that's amazing that you're traveling to Thailand. Is this the building of the mikveh, Rabbi Litzman?
Correct. This is outside. This is in the opening event.
This is gorgeous. This looks beautiful. This is the ribbon cutting ceremony?
Correct.
Who are you meeting over here?
This is a soldier still here. He's 2 hours from here. Pesach, we're supposed to cater for them.
American soldiers?
Already, yeah, we prepared 50 meals.
Wow.
For each Seder, and then the last day they told us that new rules, no food from outside. So we sent them express only for him. He went outside and ordered in for wine and meat, everything he needed.
Amazing. All just to make sure that they have food for their Seder.
Yeah.
So this is you dancing with some of your kinderlach? Beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is a gorgeous mikveh. I think I have another picture. So this is just people posing for a picture in front of the mikveh. Are these Chabad Rebbetzins or?
Correct.
Family?
They came for the event from all over Asia. You can see from China, from Japan, I don't recognize all those faces, but I think from every country someone came. It was a representative from each at least.
Wow. Who designed the mikveh? I'm just gonna see if I could. I'm just gonna continue just to get a beautiful. So this is just local women from the community.
Yeah.
So some of them are your family. I see your children, and then just
Yes.
local Jewish women that
Yeah.
live in South Korea.
Yeah.
Amazing.
From the right, in the right side, this is the Israeli consul.
Oh, wow. So she lives. Is she still there now?
She left 2 weeks ago.
Wow. And is this just a party, or I see latkes maybe? Is this Hanukkah?
Yeah, and yes, and this is my son speaking.
Wow. And everyone just listening.
Yeah,
So that's when people
mesmerized.
listen, when the children speak. That's the trick.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I could identify latkes. I guess a rabbi has a good eye for latkes. And is this is in your backyard? Just another event with your child speaking in?
Yeah, this is a group of visitors that came here. 80 people came, so they wanted to have kosher dinner, so we did for them catering.
Amazing. Where were they from?
And this is my 7 years old child speaking.
Wow, teach them young.
Yeah, the other were in camp. And so this was last year. They were from Chicago, I think.
Oh, they were a tour from Chicago. So you catered a meal for them to make sure they have kosher. Amazing. And actually, yesterday's Torah portion we read in the Torah was Vishinantam Levanecha. You should teach your children. So really, your children they learned from you, and they're passing on, and they're teaching others. Amazing. This looks like a wedding. Is this a chuppah I see in the middle?
Correct. This is a Jewish, 2 English teachers from Ireland that decided to get married in Korea, and we told them, let's do it a Jewish wedding, and they jumped into it, and it was an amazing event. They called all their friends. Over 100 people came.
Wow!
It was the first, probably the first ever Jewish wedding in Korea.
Wow! Wow! How long ago was this?
3 years ago.
Amazing. So this is also in your backyard?
Front yard, yes.
Front yard. And you could host a wedding in your home. Amazing. 100 people. How many would you say were Jewish from the 100?
Maybe 10.
Wow. So you had a minyan.
Yes.
And then you had...
We had a minyan, yes. There many people from the community came to say Mazel Tov and to be in the chuppah.
Wow. Actually, I'll just pause for a second. There's a story I was sharing before. I don't know if you were on Rebbe Litzman, but tonight is the Rebbe's father's yahrzeit, Rebbe Levi Yitzchak. And in the late 30s, he got arrested for being Jewish and for fighting for Jewish life. In his building, in his apartment, was a spy for the Russian government, for the KGB, and he was Jewish. He was part of the NKVD and the Yevsexia. And there was a young bride and groom that needed to get married, right? If I'm not mistaken, Rebbe Litzman, the groom was going to be going out, was being enlisted in the Russian army. So the mother came in to the Rebbe's father in the middle of the night and says, my daughter needs to get married and we need a minyan. He was able to rally together 9, but the 10th he didn't have. So he went to that spy who was keeping track of everyone who was going in and out. And he said, I need you for a minyan, which was illegal and forbidden, especially at night. And the spy came put a cover over his face so no one sees who he is, like a mask like we have now, and participated in the minyan to allow a Jewish man and woman to get married. Right, Rebbe Litzman, did you ever hear that story before? Okay, so...
This story inspires us, never to give up on anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. That's one big inspiration. So this is this is a decoration by the mikveh. Is this like
this is the ceiling, actually. It's a 3D printed droplet that has light in it and sitting on a nest of cherry wood beams.
Wow. And this is your son helping fill in with someone at the airport. Can you explain a little bit what's going on in this picture?
So we went to the Rebbe for the Rebbe's passing anniversary a month and a half ago. And when we came back home, someone was screaming, "Hey, Rabbi!" I was turning around and I saw this soldier. He was the American Army, US Army. And he used to come to us almost every week.
Wow.
But since the virus started, he was posted to be in the welcoming booth at the Incheon Airport, which is the international airport here, to direct the soldiers who comes to Korea. So he was thrilled to see us. He said this is the first Jewish face he saw since he was posted there. So I asked him if he would like to put fill-in. Of course, he agreed, and we put fill-in. And just Friday, I texted him, "How is he doing?" And he said, "Rabbi, I want to go home. Everything is from God, and of course, I want to go home already. 5 months he's stuck in the airport. He is not allowed to leave."
Wow.
So I wish them that he will be released soon. Sunday, not even Sunday, no, it was before Shabbat. He texted me, "Rabbi, a miracle happened. I got the permission to leave Monday to go back to Seoul."
Wow.
Hopefully we're going to see him this Shabbos. He's a young soldier.
Wow. So maybe, Rabbi Litzman, it seems like you have a special power for blessings. Maybe you could bless that Mashiach should come and Corona should be a thing of the past.
Amen. Mashiach must come, especially today is a special day.
Yeah. So, Rabbi Litzman, I'm looking at your mikveh, and I fell in love with just looking at this beautiful. Who designed this mikveh? It looks like so appropriate for South Korea, for the culture there. Who designed this gorgeous mikveh?
So, with everything you do, if you thinking about it again and again, you will make it better. I mentioned that my son is giving a talk every week on YouTube. So he's summarizing a sikha from the Rebbe, from the book called Lekutei Sichos. The Rebbe is asking questions on the Torah weekly portion, mainly on Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki, the main commentator on the Torah, why he decided to explain something here and not earlier. The Rebbe finds things that we don't pay attention. So I saw that the Rebbe wrote that if he told one of the secretaries, "Take it away from me because I would never end editing it." So if you really like something, you will always be able to make it better and better. So the mikveh was in our thoughts since the beginning of our arrival here. We know that this is what we must do, no matter what, and we paid all of our might and strength into it. And we're thinking what would be a nice design that would appeal to people. Just to make it expensive is not enough because some people have it in their house or they can go to a hotel. And then we thought to make it round. And then one day, Hashem helped us and the thought came and said, mikveh is all about water. So why don't we try to make a mikveh shape in a droplet, water drop. And this is how, this is what you see is actually it's a square mikveh because according to Kabbalah, some opinions say that it has to be square. So the cement was shaped into a square shape, but then we made some cosmetic changes on the top of the water level to make it look like a water drop. So there was no really plan in the beginning how to make it, beside of the basic shape. But then we added the side doors made from wood, Korean style, and then the top also. We realized that we make it much nicer. And slowly but surely, we have a beautiful mikveh, Hashem. Actually, just now we're collecting again water after taking out all the water for cleaning. And today it started again to rain. It's
Wow.
a lot of rain now.
Nice, nice. So Rabbi Litzman, at the right time, God willing, I'll call you for advice on the design for my mikveh.
With great pleasure.
Do you raise funds from the local community? Is there who to raise from, or do you have international donors that you find that do business there?
So it costs a lot of money. Korea is a very expensive country.
Mm-hmm.
So to focus only on locals will be difficult. Only on international also will be difficult. So we pull the funds from wherever possible. We were not picky. Someone wanted to donate. We made an online campaign where people donated tiles. Those tiles are about 25,000 tiles in there that we put on our own with community members and our family. We spend hours on hours to make the design because no one was able to design it on the computer, and no Korean was able to make it to know how to do it beautifully. So we literally were sitting there for hours drawing and then putting the tiles till it came out, Baruch Hashem, very nice.
Amazing. And on behalf of our community, I would also be contributing to you and to your amazing community and for all the amazing work that you're doing there. So on behalf of our community, I'll be giving a donation if anyone else wants. I'm pretty sure it's jewishkorea.com/donate. I'll post a link later. If anyone else wants to donate to Rabbi Litzman, I would be happy to guide you on how to do that. I'll just carry on a few more pictures. I see I'm not much of a wine connoisseur, but I do enjoy some wine. I see you have, I'm assuming you have, I doubt this is your personal stash. I think this is maybe a store that you have, just from looking at some of the pictures. Is this a store that you have in Korea?
Yeah, so when we teach someone Aleph Bet, we teach them that the fundamental basics of Judaism is kosher and Shabbos. We need to give them the tools to keep kosher. So we decided to make it available because otherwise it's not available in Korea. So we bring shipments from Israel and America with everything a Jew needs.
Wow. So in your home, you have this in your home and they're for sale. People could come and choose a wine.
Yeah. We sell a lot of wine, a lot of food. Baruch Hashem. It's not a business. We don't. Our margin is very low. We only to cover the expenses. It's not a business, but people enjoy it. We sell water bottles for $3.50 from Israel. So you can't beat that price. Even in Israel, you won't find it that cheap.
Really? Okay, but I'm looking. I'm actually getting hungry. There's some stuff on the shelves that I can't find in California. I'm considering a visit to Rabbi Litzman. Especially just some of the wine. It's amazing.
Red carpet for you.
Even just some of the wine. You can't get a lot of these wines in Northern California. Amazing what you're able to pull off in South Korea. Amazing. Litzman, you're incredibly inspiring. I'm enjoying every moment of this. Could you just share maybe a story? Has there ever been a hard part of your shlichut? Like Rabbi Butman last week was telling us he has to order his matzah for his Seder with hundreds of people. He has to put in the order by Rosh Hashanah time. And this year, they just released the order by the border. They just got the matzah now, a few months after Pesach. Is there any struggles that you deal with? I don't know, with the locals or just with the time zone difference or like what's your biggest struggle? Raising children in South Korea or living in South Korea? Is there anything that is different, that is a struggle?
There are some challenges. Absolutely. Bringing a shipment is not easy. And building a mikveh and raising funds, it's a challenge. But I would say that what is frustrating me is that I don't have enough time to accomplish all what I want. So this is the only thing that it's not good. I have so many things to do, and it's not easy to fit in a day.
Amazing. That's such a deep answer. Wow. I like it. Okay. Anything else, Rabbi Litzman, that you can inspire us with? Any last thought? I'll go through some question. Oh, I see, David, you're asking about anti-Semitism. Rabbi Litzman already answered that earlier, that there is no anti-Semitism. I mean, it's a safe place. There's a lot of respect there. I think I got that right. Maddie's asking, what does a typical day look like? So what would you say happens on a typical day?
So I start my day with learning. I spend about an hour before praying, and then praying for an hour, and then testing my kids. I know that you would prefer to have this Zoom earlier, but I'm testing my kids. They're learning by heart every day for an hour.
What do they learn by heart?
Mainly Tanya, which is the fundamental book of Chabad teaching, and also Mishnayot, the Mishnah. Mainly is Tanya. My 11-year-old child tested yesterday all at once chapter 37 from Tanya, which has 1,500 words, more than 1,500 words, without even one mistake.
In one shot.
Yeah, and he finished already the whole Tanya. Now he is doing it again, and all the chapters together. And I have another daughter also did it a few weeks ago, and she's now already in the Sha'ar Yichud Ve'emunah, which is the next level. Also, she did chapter 7, which also has more than 1,500 words in it altogether. So this is till 12, and then they have lunch, and I go do all what I need to do, meeting with people, taking care of everything in our Chabad house. We spend time learning together in the afternoon with the family, doing activities from them, taking them out. People are coming to buy kosher food, to study. It's very, very busy. We have to go very late to sleep.
Wow.
Oh, Hashem.
And I appreciate you giving us this hour of your time. And I was asking you last week, I was texting you, you think you could do it at 7 or 7:30, a little earlier in California time? And your answer was, I'm testing my kids at that time. And I loved hearing that. If it was anything else, I would have tried to convince you. When you said you're busy with your kids and you're testing them, that was gold. That was incredible. And it was very inspiring for me that I have a bunch of things, and a lot of times I learn with my children also, but there's other things that are important that kind of could take priority. And you reminded me by that text where my priority is. And that's amazing. So Rabbi Litzman, I'll ask you one more question, then if you have any closing thoughts, has Corona hit? It seems like it was under control much earlier in South Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have to wear masks outside? Is it as it is here in California? Is it different? Are parks open? Are restaurants open?
So over here, it's a little bit different. I saw that every day in Korea before the virus started, just on a regular average day, they sell 11 million masks. So with the corona, without, everybody wear masks when there is a pollution. It's coming from Mongolia or China. It's a common thing here. But Korea didn't close almost anything private. There are museums and public institutions were closed, and offices, the government gave them the decision if they want to close or not. We never got an order to close, so we were open every week. We had guests here. And there are flights every day to the US as it was before. There are some rules. There are 2 weeks quarantine in the house, and there are some places that will not let you in without a mask, such as Costco and hospitals. But other than that, do whatever you want. Just make sure you don't cause troubles, because then it's not going to be fine.
Thank you, Rabbi Litzman. Any last thoughts before we end the morning for you and the evening for us?
I hope to see you, meet you all in person with Mashiach in Yerushalayim today. The mikveh will travel there so you can see it in person. The wine also, so you can say L'chaim.
Amazing. Rabbi Litzman, you made my evening. You made my week. I'm inspired just to see you and to hear you and to learn from you. Amazing. Every part of it. I've learned so much from you. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for inviting me, and I will always be able to share good news. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Litzman. Thank you to our community for joining in, for tuning in, and for learning from Rabbi Litzman. Kol hakavod. Thank you so much. Erev Tov, Shavua Tov.
Thank you.
See you with Mashiach very soon.
Amen. Bye.